Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this press conference by Mr. William ONeill. He has been designated by the High Commissioner Volker Turk as human rights expert in Haiti. He has just concluded his 10-day mission to the country and will talk to you. He'll do opening remarks and then he'll take your questions. Thank you. Bill?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Bonjour, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is William ONeill, and I'm the human rights expert on Haiti for the United Nations. I recently spent 10 days in Haiti on a fact-finding mission. I have been working on Haiti for over 30 years now, and I have never seen the situation as bad as it is now. Gangs control over 50% of the capital. They rule ruthlessly, kidnapping, extorting, and terrorizing the population. Many areas of the capital city are off limits to the Haitian National Police. In some instances, the police have colluded with gangs. The impact on economic, social, and cultural rights is devastating. Children cannot go to school, markets are closed, or merchants must pay a tax, quote unquote, to gangs. Health clinics cannot operate, and the basic activities of daily life can entail great risks. The gangs are responsible for sexual violence against women and young girls. They use sexual violence to terrorize the population and to demonstrate their control. Gang rapes have become common. I interviewed 2 victims of sexual violence who described how they were beaten and abused and even burned with pieces of hot, melting plastic. The Haitian state, barely present in gang-controlled areas even before this recent wave of violence, is totally absent now. The state, following a report by the High Commissioner for Human Rights and the Integrated Bureau in Haiti in October of last year on sexual violence, committed to provide services and support to the victims. Yet nothing has been done so far. The victims told me that they feel abandoned and alone. I visited the prisons in Port-au-Prince and Cape Haitian. The conditions are cruel, inhuman, and degrading. The National Penitentiary in the capital in particular is horrific. Detainees are kept inside squalid, hot, and overcrowded cells for hours at a time. There is no water or any toilet inside. They must sleep in shifts because there's not enough room for all to lie down at the same time. The cells in Cape Haitian are similarly jammed, but at least there, the director has found a way to have garbage and human waste removed every day. This is not the case in the capital, where I saw a pile of waste, including human excrement, as 10 feet high, 15 feet long, right next to where the health dispensary is. Patients with tuberculosis and other diseases live right next to this. The odor nauseating and the risks to health obvious. Over 80%, I'll say that again, over 80% of those in detention have never been tried or convicted of any crime. I interviewed one person who said he was accused of a petty theft, yet he has been in prison for 7 years awaiting trial. I heard similar stories from other detainees who cannot afford lawyers and are literally rotting in prison. This situation illustrates a massive failure in the justice system. Judges are supposed to charge or release anyone accused within 48 hours of arrest. Prosecutors are charged with visiting prisons every month to ensure conditions are humane. Yet these legal obligations are rarely enforced, and even rarer is anyone held to account for failing to perform. Weak accountability, combined with rampant corruption, results in state institutions that fail to protect human rights. The population, understandably, has little confidence. State officials are rarely punished, and oversight mechanisms are weak. Until this aspect of governance is addressed, the human rights situation will remain dismal regardless of how much aid arrives or if the violence decreases. I did see, however, some positive developments which show that even with the violence and lack of resources, progress can occur. We are not asking for the impossible. The new chief prosecutor in Port-au-Prince, for example, has already released detainees held in police stations that he has visited. He told me that he has established quotas for his office requiring a certain number of cases to be resolved every week, and he will make public announcements of any results. The anti-corruption unit has made significant strides in investigating some major corruption cases. They receive threats every day, yet they continue their work. Investigating Judge Morin, for example, was almost killed a few weeks ago by armed men who fired 13 bullets at his vehicle. Judge Morin is investigating several high-profile corruption cases. Other judges are investigating cases involving former senators, the head of customs, and the head of the National Social Assistance Program. The Haitian National Police suffer from shortages of personnel and all types of equipment. Yet when I met the head of the police in the north of the country, he described how he has gained the trust of the population, which has led to effective operations against gangs. He makes sure his officers are out visibly patrolling. He insists on strict discipline, and every complaint of police misconduct is investigated. The Haitian National Police Inspector General told me that 80 officers have been suspended and under investigation for misconduct or criminal activity. The police leadership also is investigating allegations of police participation in the Bois Calais movement, which is a form of vigilante justice. I urge the police leadership to complete these investigations and to take any necessary action. The police, however, needs help to combat the gangs. International police experts in fighting organized crime, armed gangs, financial crimes, kidnapping, and in how to conduct urban operations while working alongside the Haitian National Police would provide the support needed for success. All involved would have to observe human rights principles involving the use of force, arrest, and detention. Strict and independent oversight is needed to assess any well-founded allegations of any violations of these principles. I also call for an embargo on all arms and ammunition shipments to Haiti, except for those necessary to help the Haitian National Police to perform its tasks. Haiti manufactures not a single gun or bullet, yet the gangs are the ones receiving large amounts of both, primarily from the United States. The mass deportations from the Dominican Republic, especially of unaccompanied minors, violate human rights standards and a bilateral protocol between the two countries. The children returned have often been mistreated and some are malnourished. I urge all countries in the region to end mass deportations, given the relentless violence and systematic human rights violations in Haiti. Haiti is bruised by violence, misery, fear, and suffering, but it is not without hope. Brave people, especially those in civil society and some in state institutions, are achieving positive results even with limited resources. With strong will and focused support from the outside, Haiti can escape this downward spiral. As my Haitian friends always remind me in Creole, Kembe fem palage, which essentially means stay strong, don't give up. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Bill, for a briefing. Edie?
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Neill. On behalf of the United Nations Correspondents Association for doing this briefing, my name is Edith ONeill from the Associated Press. You said last week at the end of your visit to Haiti that a specialized international force is needed to help fight gang violence in Haiti, and you again reiterated a call for a weapons embargo immediately. You're now in New York. Are you talking to members of the UN Security Council about your report, and what reactions have you had? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I just got back Thursday night, and then with Friday and the holiday, I have started to reach out to members of the Security Council to request some meetings, and some have reposited, and even before I left, they said they really wanted to hear from me after the visit. So I intend in the next week or so to have as many discussions and meetings as possible with whoever wants to meet, but certainly with members of the Council, other member states very active on Haiti, such as Canada, and I want to pursue these issues with them and other parts of the UN system also, to brief them so that they are fully aware of what's happening. And but so far, no reactions other than, yes, please come, we want to hear you.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, hi, Frank Uciardo from TRT World. Thank you for having this press conference. I want to get back to something you were saying earlier about the police and corruption, and then you were also saying about the police working with vigilantes. Does it seem like the national police force there is so corrupt that they will go in either direction, wherever the money is or wherever it benefits them, to the detriment of the civilians?
No, I think there are some, as in any police force, even here in the NYPD, there are some police who are corrupt. There are some police in Haiti that have colluded with the gangs. There are some fairly seriously documented cases in the past and even to fairly recent times. But not all, by no means all. There are some really brave, courageous Haitian police who are literally really risking their lives fighting the gangs. They're outgunned in most cases. But I would say, and also I should add, the police have started a vetting program where they are doing a pretty serious look at who they have, what their records are, are there any complaints, are there any suspicions, and can you get evidence that police have acted either misconduct, abuse of power, criminal activity, or even this collusion with the gangs. And I met with senior Haitian National Police leadership, including the Inspector General, who's responsible for this, and they have told me they are committed to taking a serious look at the integrity and competence of all the members of the Haitian National Police. So I have confidence that they will do this. I have confidence that most of the police are good and honest and really trying. And I also know that there are some that are not. And I hope that they will identify those who are not and they will be removed from the HMP.
You said you've been there over the past 3 decades, and it's the worst you've ever seen it. The tone in these situations is usually set from the top. How corrupt is the government there now?
Well, I can't speak for every level, every officer, but I will tell you that so many different Haitians told me corruption is our #1 enemy. And that's not new. That's been, unfortunately, a very long-standing problem in Haiti. I can't speak to individual in the government and their complicity or not, or their actions in being corrupt or not. I can tell you that I had a very good meeting with the head of the anti-corruption unit, who has 30 cases under investigation now, involving some very senior people, including, as I think I mentioned in my statement, the former head of customs. And that's a big deal because it's interesting. He was arrested, and now the case is going forward. I think he was arrested sometime in March or early April. There's a new person in charge. Customs collections in Haiti in April and May set records for getting taxes and the duties and everything else, which shows you that a lot was not being paid. And there's a new sheriff in town. And that's fantastic, because Haiti always has this issue of we don't have enough of this, we don't have enough of that. But if you actually collect taxes and duties from people who should be paying them, and then you can fund government properly, then you can pay the police, you can hire more police, you can pay school teachers, you can keep health clinics with medicine and staff being paid properly. The question now is really to watch, is that new customs revenue being spent in the way it should be? But corruption is certainly a big problem. I think this unit is working very hard. As I said, they have 30 cases, some serious senior people, and then the sanctions regime, I should mention that, the sanctions regime that already has been initiated by the United States, Canada, the Dominican Republic, and I hope soon by the United Nations, has also identified from some very serious people, former president, former prime minister, former heads of the Senate, other politicians, some very major business people. So I think if that regime kicks in and this internal domestic effort to fight corruption can gain steam, you can start to turn things around in Haiti. That's why I keep saying it's not hopeless. People are doing some really good things now, but it's not easy, and it's dangerous. I said this one investigating judge almost got killed 3 weeks ago.
The Secretary General seems to be having a bit of a difficult situation with rounding up the political will in the region to send in voluntary police forces or troops to help out the police force there. What's your reaction to the situation?
I would hope that people would come forward. Different states could come forward, because I think it's needed. It's certainly needed. The Haitian National Police will tell you that. I would say that the people I talk to in Haiti, and I'm not going to pretend I have a global, foolproof survey that I could cite to you, but the people I talk to from all walks of life overwhelmingly want some outside help to come. They're very clear they don't want another, let's say, large MINUSTA with 12,000 troops and this and that. They do want expertise focused on the gang violence, which is kind of specialized expertise that would help, support, reinforce, backstop the Haitian National Police, so that it would be still a Haitian-led effort, but not a Haitian-only effort. It would include others from outside that have this expertise that could be helping and supporting their own police and then their justice system and everything else. So I think, I hope that time is running. It's been many months now. It doesn't, the situation each day is bad. So I hope at some point soon there will be enough of a consensus that this kind of help could materialize in Haiti.
Go ahead, Edie.
Yeah, a couple of follow-ups. Is there a size for an international force that you think would be effective? Are we talking about, 100? Are we talking about 1,000? What do you think would be needed?
This is not my area of expertise. What type of I do have thoughts on what type of expertise is needed. Purely as a layman, my own personal assessment would be certainly not MINUSTA before, but not 100. I think probably 1,000 to 2,000. But it's more important the quality than the quantity. I think the quality of the support. These are really good people who know this issue, who know about how to do these do this kind of policing work while respecting human rights. That's be crucial. I think that's my view. That's
Right. And you said that over 80% of those in detention have not been charged. How many people are in detention, and did you talk to anyone about doing anything about trying to get them charged or released?
Yes. The most recent number, if I remember correctly, is 11,775. That's I think what it was that I got from
Right.
prison authorities and UN corrections people working in Binu. That is about 4 times the capacity of the prison system in Haiti. Yeah, so if you added up what numbers should be there, it's about 4 times so that's one reason why you have such incredible overcrowding, and with the conditions that result. Just the heat. I mean, I walked up to some of those cells and looked inside, and the heat and the smell, and people are literally they're sitting up on bunks and they're crammed in, and they're in there for hours at a time, and it's just absolutely incomprehensible to me. Talk to people, yes. I met the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister said, we must do something about our prisons. He said that, and others too. Everybody, the prison director, the commissaire de gouvernement who's in charge of the prison, everyone said this is a major issue. And this is something that can be solved. This you can't really say, oh, there's insecurity. No, these are areas that the government that has custody of these people. I asked, why isn't the trash picked up, to the director of the prison in Port-au-Prince? Why is this pile there? He said, well, there's a contract with the company, but the company stopped coming because they said they hadn't been paid. Well, if that's true, then of course. So why isn't the company being paid? That's the question. So, and these are not complicated technical issues. And the judges need to go. This one commissaire in Port-au-Prince has already made a difference. And he's going and he's saying, okay, why are you in here? And that charge is too petty. You shouldn't have been arrested. That's a minor offense. We'll deal with it later. Out you go. So I think there are some people who are committed to doing this, but the justice system really has to take this on. It really has to process these cases and either charge them, okay, or release them.
Yes, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dulcie Lineback from Pass Blue. It sounds like the numbers of outside experts may not need to be that high. Are you talking about actual troops? Are you talking about police experts? And the people you talked to who said that they need this assistance, what countries do they not want to send troops or experts or however you want to describe these outsiders? Thanks.
Sure. I'm talking, me as Bill O'Neill, I'm talking about more police, not troops, not soldiers. I'm talking about people who know how to look at an organized criminal network, a gang, and analyze where's their money coming from, where are their weapons coming from, how do they operate, and then how do we as police, public security experts counter that. The meeting I had with the Haitian National Police leadership said one of their biggest weaknesses is in intelligence gathering. So that's something I would hope whoever would come would have a capacity to analyze intelligence, whether that's, getting everyone, all the gang leaders are on their cell phones all the time. So how would you be able to maybe identify where they are, identify, how if their money transfers on those, who knows, everything's done by phones these days. But anyway, the intelligence and analysis of intelligence. So those kind of folks, I think is what's needed. Financial people who can identify, again, the money flows, money laundering, how are the gangs using the money they're getting to wash it, frankly, is what they do. So those are the kinds of expertise I'm talking about. Fairly specialized, but again, it's out there, and many countries have, Haiti's not unique in facing organized criminal networks like this, and money flows and weapons flows. I haven't heard anybody say, oh, we don't want them. What I did hear is we want somebody to help get the gangs off our necks so we can breathe again. That's also often what they expressed it that way, so we can breathe again, so our kids can go to school, so we can go to the market, so I can have a life, go to medical centers that actually open, and then stop being extorted. The gangs for now have basically cut off the southern part of the country to the whole 4 provinces or departments in the southern peninsula. There's one road that goes from Port-au-Prince to those areas. Gangs control it.
If I can follow up. So you're actually talking about maybe a police contingent from, say, New York City, which has a lot of experience in dealing with corruption. I guess I just don't understand why nobody's stepping up with something as core and maybe not even that huge an investment.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. So and that relates to the earlier question. I hope people see more clearly what the need is, and maybe I hope this is maybe the result of the number of visits that have just occurred to Haiti by other parts of the UN system and by me. The Secretary General was just there on Saturday. So maybe this will help clarify in people's minds what is needed and the scope of it, and maybe that would make it more palatable for some folks to step forward. Let's hope.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? I don't see any questions online. Mr. O'Neill, thank you very much for your briefing.
Thank you all. Thank you all for your questions.